It's now time to pick up where we left off. The door to the late Professor Harris's study was locked. It is now unlocked thanks to a successful lock-picking roll. To enter, make a locksmith roll. We succeed and we go to 108. You reach into your pocket and produce the bobby pin that you carry on you for just such an occasion. You insert it into the lock and fumble with it for a few minutes. It sticks and strains, and for several terrible seconds, you fear that it will break in the lock. And then the tumblers give and the door clicks open. You push your way into the small study and find the room much as you expected. The door opens across from a window, which lets in the pale greenish light of the mist. This illuminates the room, which is adorned primarily with mostly empty bookcases. There are also several glass display cases throughout the room. But these are similarly empty. At the far end of the room, just beneath the window, is a desk, still littered with the professor's blood-soaked papers. Searching through the desk drawers, you find stacks of notes and various personal items. Buried in the bottom drawer, you find an impossibly old scrap of papyrus pressed into a glass frame. All across the ancient document are strange and unusual scrawls. As you pick it up to inspect it, you notice a sheet of paper lightly attached to the back of the frame, bearing the same scrolls as the papyrus, but with annotations in its margins. Presumably, this is a translation of the papyrus's text. Ye intruders beware. As you read it over, you marvel at the impossibility of its content. The papyrus purports to be written by a priest from an unknown city by the name of Ilarnek. In this account, the priest records observations of an odd and ugly race of beings who once lived upon a lake in the forgotten land of Manar. I go to Menards every so often. It's not a forgotten land. It's really popular. Parking lots usually full at Menards. And, I mean, if you want to call it a cult, there's certainly a jingle that everyone knows. And they all sing it in their heads every time it plays over the PA system. You know it happens. The document goes into great detail about the fire rituals of these strange creatures, and speaks of the haunting dances they would perform in the light of the flames beneath the gibbous moon, and always under the watchful gaze of a sea-green stone idol, chiseled in the likeness of a great lizard. The priest's writings go on to mention rituals used to ward off the influence of that detestable creature, rituals performed by humans. The text for the ritual in the annotation is untranslated and simply rendered in standard characters so that it reads, Yahayar Nog Ngluia Bokrug. The strange phrase sticks in your mind. You pause for a moment to consider the implications. You carefully detach the translation, fold it up, and put it in your pocket as evidence before exiting the study. You have learned a ritual chant. Note it on your investigator sheet as ritual chant, entry 235. When prompted, you may choose to use this chant. If you do so, go to 235. Cthulhu. Krager says that's where you save big money. I heard that. I don't know where I heard it. It just seems to enter my brain every so often. Repeatedly. You turn around and leave the door closed behind you. Looking down the stairs, you realize that you are not alone. Dominating the entryways is Joshua, red-faced and furious. He has a gun in his right hand, which he quickly aims in your direction. You have just a second to hit the ground before he pulls the trigger. Perhaps your reflexes are quick enough. Make a dodge roll. If you succeed, we proceed. If you fail, we take 1d10 plus 2 damage. If we survive this, we go to another page. However, if this reduces you to 0 hit points, you are DED dead. So, we may very well die. Hello, Butcher. It's good to see you. Butcher, I need your help. Are you still with us? I need your help with this. It seems that we do not. Is there someone out there who hasn't gotten to roll yet? I don't know if Down to Die or Heretic Trance want to come out of lurk mode, or if there's someone else out there that would like to dodge out of the way of this character who is trying to give us a lead injection. And wouldn't you know, we tend to have an allergy to lead. It causes a very bad reaction in our bodies. After Fov, do you want to be voluntold to make the dodge roll? Alright, after Fov. Exclamation point 1D100. You have a 65 or below. .43 is below 65. You throw yourself to the floor with all haste, trying to get out of the line of fire. You hear the loud sound of the gunshot as a bullet embeds itself in the wall behind you. You hear a squeal as Amelia comes running after Joshua, begging him to stop shooting and put the gun away. He curses and shoves her aside, but he does holster his weapon. He rushes past her and up the stairs. Just as you manage to stumble to your feet, he comes at you, swinging his fist. It's not ideal, but at least with the gun put away, you have a fighting chance. Make a fighting brawl roll. If you succeed, there's that. If you fail, take damage. If you survive, continue. Alright, Scannion, you seem to be itching for a fight. You have been in murder hobo mode. So make a fighting brawl roll. We need a 45 or below. Let's see if we can get some of that heated blood out of you here. 26 absolutely is below 45. As Joshua towers over you, fist raised in rage, an idea crosses your mind. You pull both of your feet up and drive them into his chest. You kick him back with all your might, sending him tumbling down the stairs. You hear several thumps and thuds as Joshua rolls down the steps. When he reaches the bottom, he lays there, sprawled out and clearly injured. His groans betray his semi-conscious state, and you walk over to him confidently. With one final kick, you send him over the edge into unconsciousness. Amelia is mortified at the sight. She runs out into the street, fleeing the scene. You quickly search Joshua's pockets and find his wallet, which includes his identification with an address. A search of his other pocket reveals a house key. Several options are immediately apparent. You can continue searching the house, leave in pursuit of Amelia, or you can make your way to Joshua's house. Search the Harris house. Chase Amelia. Search Joshua's house. 1 minute. Vote, vote, vote! Ah! 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 Do I get your attention? Are you at alert mode? Come on, get your vote in. Less than a minute. Do it. I'm gonna spam some emotes as well. It's always good fun, nice and colorful. This is it's the wonderful night of the solstice, so why not participate in this fun ritual that we are having together? What are we doing? 30 seconds remaining. Vote, vote, vote. Seven votes are in. About 10 seconds left. What do you want to do? All right, 5 to 2 to 1. You all would prefer to chase Amelia over searching the Harris house or Joshua's house? Okay. Chasing Amelia. You chase after Amelia Harris. She's vanished in the mist, but you're determined to find her. But determination alone is not enough to track down the wayward widow. After wandering through the fog for what feels like hours, you are certain that you're lost. After trying to get your bearings for some time, you finally find yourself outside the hotel, frustrated that Amelia has managed to escape you. You pause outside the hotel doorway, listening for the sounds of footsteps. The streets are eerily still and nearly silent. You fancy you hear something and set off in the general direction of the sounds. You wander the streets for what feels like hours. Your suspicions are seemingly confirmed as it gets harder and harder to see. The lack of visibility caused by the mists compounded by the fading light. Dusk falls hard and fast, and you're left roaming the streets in this darkness. As you contemplate abandoning your task, you tense up and freeze as you hear a nauseating squelching sound suddenly behind you. A sense of terror washes over you as the unexpected sound breaks the silence. You are ruled by a sense of unease and are driven to run, though you don't know why. You do not wish to find out. Make a dex roll. All right. Who has not rolled in a while? Who is hanging out in chat and would like to roll? Maybe you've never rolled yet tonight, or it's been a while. Who's out there? Who wants to make this dex roll? It's crickets. Iron Chef, thank you. Thank you for standing up for what we believe in here, which could be our inevitable doom. I need a 1D100, Iron Chef Lord. We need 60 or below. Presumably for the good outcome. All right, Oni, thank you. Thank you for hanging out as long as you did, and happy hunting to you. Hopefully I can join in, and I can team up with you sometime and continue. You know what? You would have been proud. I figured out that that it was actually an Oni ghost last night after the stream, because I was missing evidence, but I was trying to pay attention to the behavior of the ghost. And with the evidence I had in the couple selections that were there, I said, this thing is being way too wild. It's throwing stuff. There's a bunch of ghost events, but no haunts. And so I was looking through the entries, and it said, you know, Oni like to scare and all this. I said, that's got to be it. I'd rather live and take a little bit of money. I circled Oni, got out there, and I was correct. Woohoo! Iron Chef Lord rolls a 70. Iron Chef Lord. Do you take the L, and perhaps we find out what's making the noise? Do you burn 10 of our 33 remaining luck? Or do you use up one of our Fickle God favors? There are 5 remaining in order to roll a d10 and replace the 7. And you want a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 10. Fickle God favor? Roll it and don't get a 7, 8, 9. We now have 4 Fickle God favors remaining. Of 5. So instead of a 70, the Fickle God blesses you. Changes that to a 50. We succeed on a 171. Which I can't click to, so we're going to manually scroll. Pardon. Next broadcast, people will be able to redeem their points. All of the redemptions have been used up right now. You quickly duck into the hotel, avoiding whoever or whatever else is out there. You pause for a few moments to gather your thoughts. Darkness has come and your job is not yet done. With perseverance, you may yet finish your task. The most obvious choice is to resume the investigation. Another potential course of action is to simply cut your losses and leave. You could try to abandon Esbury on foot, and you must admit that idea is tempting despite being wholly impractical. This place has not been good to you. Of course, you could always simply sleep on it, stay another night in the hotel, and hope to either continue your work or move on in the morning. You aren't certain why, but you feel a vague sense of unease at the idea of spending a second night here. You try to push the thought from your mind as you come to a firm decision. And chat, dear lovely chat, what is that going to be? We're going to open up a poll, and your options. Do we stay at hotel? Do we attempt to leave at night? Or do we continue the investigation? Not enough characters. Continue investigation. Instead of continue the investigatio. Noise, action, adventure, explosions? Get your vote in. You only have a minute. And what happens after that minute? We'll find out. But it's up to you all. Get your votes in. There's another poll that is now open. There are 7 people who voted at the halfway point. Stay at the hotel, continue the investigation. Break the tie, please. Stop. I need someone to vote. 4-4. Stay at the hotel, continue. Vote. There's almost 30 of you out there. I need more than 8 people to vote, please. Someone else, be a tiebreaker. Step up, be bold. Be brave, make a decision. Are you cowardly? Are you yellow, chat? You yeller? Can't make a decision? All right, 5-4, continue the investigation. Someone is bold and brave. Now, will this get us killed? Quite possibly. And we'll still have fun with it. Well, now, Professor Lycan, I don't know if it's trolling. And frankly, if it is, it's not affecting me, and the people who are purposely trolling are either getting amusement or they're wasting time. But that's on them and not on me because I'm having fun. And that means that there are people who are, or it is honestly, it's an honest-to-goodness split and nobody's trolling. So I don't want to think negatively of people I don't know. I don't see the results. I don't know who voted for what. And by default, I would rather give people credit for being here. So we shall pursue the investigation. We're going to page 200. You collect yourself, and I have some nighttime music as well. I think it's even nighttime city music. Bleakwater Docks. This'll work. You collect yourself and step out into the mist, determined to get to the bottom of this. The fog is thick, and night has fallen. At this stage, you have few, if any, leads to investigate. While this is far from ideal, your best option seems to be patrolling the streets, looking for something out of the ordinary, more so than what you've already seen. You begin cautiously walking down the streets, making sure to keep up a brisk pace and an open ear for anything that might be lurking in the mist. The streets are eerily silent except for your own footsteps. You pass houses and places of business. Little seems to stand out at first, but with a bit of persistence and luck, you may just find something. Make a luck roll. Oh, if only we had our starting 60 luck. We have a little over half of that remaining. Make a luck roll, and if we succeed, we go to a page, and if we fail, we go to a page. Let's see, who else hasn't rolled in a while? Survival, it might have been a minute for you. Of course, any of you out there watching, lurking, listening, you can step up and roll too. Just say something. Wave in chat. Say hi. But right now, survival, I need you to type exclamation point 1D100. A 25 is below 33. Now, we can't use luck on a luck roll either, so nice roll. So we are lucky. 238. Or are we? You prowl the town, hoping desperately to find some source or clue. The water rises, and soon it's past your ankles. You splash through the streets, clinging to hope. It seems your faith was not misplaced. As you move through the mist, a man slams into you. You recognize him to be one of the dark-suited gentlemen from the ferry yesterday. The man is wide-eyed and pale. He carries a gun in one hand and drags a sizable object beside him through the rising water. You glance down and see it is an altarpiece with bright jewels studded across its surface. You also notice a sack bulging with heavy goods tied about his waist. The man fixes his wild eyes upon you. What are you doing? We have to run. They're coming for us. For everyone. We have to go. The man seems ready to panic, but perhaps you can calm him. Kragar, can you persuade him with a 40 or below? Kragar the Kragarian, we need a 40 or below on persuade. 33, well, that would have even passed the luck roll. I sure can. You manage to calm down the man, assuring him that he has at least a moment to explain what's going on. He takes a couple of deep breaths before coming clean. Look, I don't know what the hell is happening. Joshua called us out here, but he didn't say anything about this. Whatever's going on, it isn't natural. Once things started going south, I grabbed the most valuable looking things I could find and I ran. He gestures down to the gemstone-studded altar he's lugging around. You stoop down to inspect it and notice letters scrawled across the side. The writing is incredibly strange and unfamiliar, but you can attempt to translate it. Make a hard archaeology roll. Scannion! Scannion, I need you to be an archaeologist. This is a 70 or below. Oh, this is hard, actually. I'm sorry, this is 35 or below. 35. And 89 isn't going to do it. You don't have enough luck to burn on it, but you can either take the L, or you can use a fickle god's favor and try and turn that 89 into an 09, 19, 20, or 29. You have 3 out of 10 sides on the die. What do you want to do? You can either use a fickle god's favor or take the L, Scannion. What's it going to be? There are 4 fickle god favors. Oh, you need an exclamation point in there. So it's either an 89 or an 89. We fail the archaeology roll. 242. You simply have no idea what you're looking at. The characters are strange and unusual, and they match no script known to you. Studying the rest of the object yields no other clues. As you dally here in the darkness and mist, you don't notice the otherworldly things approach. They surround you and strike together. Nearly a dozen unholy abominations with distended forms and lifeless eyes. They fall upon you and your companion swiftly. Though he is armed, he only manages to bring down a few of them before they subdue him, then strangle the life out of him. You fare little better, seized by the creatures despite your best efforts. Kicking and screaming, you are hauled bodily through the streets of Esbury. They carry you to a burning building where the horrid creatures feed you to the flames. As you burn alive, you see the abominable things take up a shuffling dance of unnerving nature. Their pouting, flabby lips sing silent praises to their unknown god, to which your soul is sacrificed. You have died, burned alive as an offering to one of the great old ones. Your visit to Esbury is over. The end. I'm glad you caught on, Professor Lycan. I am the god of this place. Your soul is mine. We lost at Dead by Daylight because we didn't survive until the dawn. How many pages are in the book? That's a good question. 87 if you're including biographies and stuff. If you're taking out the stuff at the end and the pre-gen characters, it looks like 77 is the final page. Well, Craigar, everyone wanted to chase the lady in red, which is always the wise thing to do, especially in a town that's been flooded with green glowing mist. Wouldn't you do that each and every time? Well, you'll have that chance, but that chance will have to come tomorrow night. And I hope that you all will be able to survive tomorrow night. But it's a little too late into this session, or into this broadcast to start over. So I will get another character sheet ready. And you get 70 points to add on top of the pre-gen character. Now, if you would prefer to make a character from scratch, we can make a character from scratch. But we went through both iterations of the pre-generated character. Professor Lycan, 8 p.m. until midnight-ish, Friday night. So depending on your times, it's technically a half hour into Friday here in Ohio. So I can technically say 8 p.m. tonight. But Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern is when I will start. Iron Chef Lord, you'll be killing your party tomorrow night. And how will you be doing that? I'll be at a TTRPG night, so I can't make it. Well, we will try to survive in your stead, Lycan. We'll do our best. Via murder.